It has now been 2 weeks since anyone has heard from a Lakeville man missing in the Wyoming wilderness. Grant Gardner last texted his wife after summiting a mountain, saying the climb was harder than he expected. Jennifer Hoff is here now with an update from his wife and where the search stands now. Jennifer?
Julie, Gardner's wife recently wrote on social media saying that she is holding out hope that he will be found soon. The local sheriff in a new post saying more than 24 groups are still actively searching the very expansive and remote area where snow is now already starting to fall.
The weather in Wyoming was terrible when Mikhail Blinnikov set up camp in the Cloud Peak Wilderness.
Every night we were there for 3 nights. It was steady thunderstorms, rain, and hail.
The St. Cloud State geology professor
And then we hiked 6 miles.
has climbed and studied mountains around the world.
Absolutely, yes.
And still, this 13,000-foot summit, a surprising challenge. The 12-hour round trip lined with boulders and crevasses.
There's thousands of rocks, and every rock has a crack,
Making the search for a missing Minnesota man all the more tricky. Authorities say Grant Gardner summited the same mountain 2 weeks ago. Blinnikov just happened to be there, even spotting his empty tent. The local sheriff saying Gardner texted his wife then, but hasn't been heard from again.
I'd say it's absolutely not a place for a solo hiker.
In a new post, authorities say they're exhausting every possibility, no matter how small, to find Gardner, naming 24 search and rescue groups. Blinnikov adding someone can survive up to 14 days without water. Still worried Gardner is stuck or struck by lightning.
Yeah, it's a very sad situation. But that's the reality. I mean, any mountains are unforgiving, and, one can be missing a relatively small area, unfortunately, yeah.
And some of those crevasses can be 8 to 12 feet deep, he said. So it might be making it difficult for any drones or canines to find Gardner if he is in fact down there. That snow I mentioned is above 10,000 feet. And we know Gardner didn't come down from the summit until after dark when some of those storms were moving through. The sheriff saying that he could be in several areas at this point, all of which the sheriff is defending has been extensively searched. Gardner's wife also wrote that all of his years of outdoors experience, Julie, she says will help him through all of this.
Yeah, we certainly hope she's right, but it's daunting when you think about that landscape and the elevation. And like you said, now snow starting to fall.
Right,
So.
a lot of tricky things to get through here still.
All right, thank you, Jennifer.